LDBC, this is your boy Coach Shelton Harrison. You're live on the Coach Shelton Harrison Boxing and MMA Show live. Okay, folks, shout out to the Ghost. Shout out to the Ghost. He confirmed everything that I was saying about Cris Cyborg. I tried to tell y'all. That Cris Cyborg does not like Megan Anderson. And I'm trying to tell y'all, I think Cyborg want to beat up Megan Anderson more than she want to get her hands on Jermaine Durandame. I actually believe that this to be true. Now, don't get it twisted. I think Cyborg want both of them, but I think she tired of Megan Anderson running her mouth. So, of course, Megan Anderson talking about she saw some weaknesses in the UFC Brazilian main event. And you know what? Cyborg is going to press this fight to get Megan Anderson in that octagon. I promise you. I promise you Cyborg going to do everything she can to get a fight with Megan Anderson before she fight for the title. And you know what? If Megan Anderson want to keep running her mouth, so be it. Well, her team, they're going to make a crucial mistake. They're going to make a very, very crucial mistake. And if Megan Anderson, if that fight is allowed, I don't think Megan Anderson would complete that fight. I think she would duck it. That's just my opinion. See, I like Megan Anderson, but I think when it comes to Cyborg, I think she all talk. Matter of fact, I don't think she'll go nowhere near. And it better be for good reason. Her team, if that girl get in there, man, like, I've seen so many flaws in Megan's game that Cyborg would easily just exploit. And I think Cyborg is that kind of person in the octagon that she would let this fight carry on. She would let it carry on for 3 or 4 rounds so she can beat on Megan Anderson. I'm trying to tell y'all. Because Cyborg would get this girl in the first round. Like, literally, Cyborg would take this girl and could easily dismantle this girl in the first round. Okay, I'm serious. Megan Anderson will be on the wall of destruction in about 15 seconds. I mean, that's just how it is. It ain't me picking on Megan Anderson. I'm not doing that. So none of you effeminate fanboys come and start, oh, Coach, see, why you got to talk so bad about me? I'm not. I'm just telling y'all the truth. I think Cyborg will go in there and totally crush this girl. Crush this girl's spirit. I mean, Cyborg would beat this girl down, man. I think for a couple of years, the Megan Anderson and Cyborg talks, they need to stop, okay? And I just don't think that right now, where she is in her career is growing, is up and coming. I just don't think that Megan Anderson needs to be in an octagon with Cyborg. I just don't. This girl is young, man. She's got a promising future. And 2, Megan is a mouthpiece, okay? Megan needs to learn, how to fight completely, be a complete fighter. When she does that, like, I give her a couple more years, man. And this girl will be a good fighter, and she'll have a mouthpiece, and that's going to bring a lot of attention to the women's MMA department. And I think Megan Anderson is needed. See, I think these fighters that like to run their mouth, like Juliana Pena, like Megan Anderson, I think they're needed. They are needed in the sport because we're trying to bring attention to a sport that things need to be fair. Things need to be regulated fairly with the men and the women. And I know it's Megan, she's selling herself, and that's good. But I think this is not the way to do it, especially because if they offer Megan this fight against Cyborg, and if Megan turns down the fight, she's going to be looked at as a ducker. Now, me, if Megan pretty much said, I don't want this fight, I would understand why, and I wouldn't even give her a lot of backlash. In fact, I wouldn't. Now, if Holly Holm and Jermaine Durandame, if they come right out and say, no, I don't want to fight Cyborg, yeah, I'm going to give them backlash. I sure am. Because they've been in the game a long time. And you take the fights, well, I did. I gave both of them hell. And I'll tell you like this, okay? I mean, Holly Holm, I'm telling you, it looked like she don't want no parts of Cyborg. It looks like, from what Jermaine said, she's a little apprehensive about fighting her. But Jermaine kind of already said that, before she would fight her. And this was before the stuff went down with Cyborg and Cyborg having to, turn down the fight. Okay? But I still think, though, I don't think Jermaine really is too excited about, like, hey, let's go fight Cyborg. The only fighter on this earth who ever said, please let me fight Cyborg is Jarena JoJo Bars. And Jarena said, hell, give me a rematch with Cyborg under Muay Thai rules. I'd be glad to fight her again. That's what Jarena said. That's the only person. And I said, Jarena, you crazy. And she started laughing at me. But it is. That is the only woman who I've noticed that said, look, I'll take Cyborg right now. Megan, you don't want that work, okay? You don't want that work. Keep trying to build your name. Keep trying to build your name. Keep working your way up to the top and work your experience and work your technique until you get to a level to where you can be competitive against a Cyborg. Because right now, if you keep running your mouth, and Dana White, they're known, because I'm going to tell y'all something. It's a lot of goofy fans of Megan Anderson too. A lot of goofy Megan Anderson fans talking about, yeah, well, Megan could beat Cyborg easily. Do y'all not know how the UFC work? If the fans are really calling for a fight, I noticed that we get the fights that we want to see in the UFC. That's one thing I'll say. I don't like the corruption. I don't like how the ranking systems have been manipulated. I don't like how the punch stats on the Home Durandame fight were changed mysteriously. Okay, I don't like that. But one thing I do like in the UFC, you get the fights that you want to see most of the time. You do. Okay? Now, the only fight we never got to see was Cyborg and Rousey. Okay, we didn't get to see that fight. Okay, now that's a fight I wanted, but we never got to see that fight. So, go figure, And I know Dana White and the UFC and Sean Shelby, I know they blocked that fight because, let me tell you something. Did they really want to see Ronda on the wall of destruction? Because Cyborg would have broke Ronda's whole spirit. Cyborg would have put Ronda Rousey out of the sport. I'm just trying to tell y'all. Y'all think Ronda acting weird now and not doing interviews? Man, Cyborg would have made this girl go to an island by herself. Folks, that's just the way that is. And if Cyborg gets her hands on Megan Anderson, I'm trying to tell you. And Cyborg called her a keyboard warrior. I mean, Megan, good grief. I don't know. Do you really want that work? Does she really want the work? I don't know. But I think Cyborg, at this point, I think Cyborg would beat Megan so badly. And I think she really would. Because I seriously think Cyborg don't like this girl. And yeah, Megan do talk a lot of junk. Megan talk. But that's okay. That's good for the sport. But in my opinion, Megan, if you're going to talk all this junk, then you need to be able to get your PG-13 channel. You need to get your butt in the octagon with Cris Cyborg and make this fight happen if you want to run your mouth. If you don't want to fight Cyborg, then Megan Anderson, you shut your damn mouth and you know your, God dog it, PG-13 level, Megan Anderson. You shut your mouth and you know your level and you work your way up to the top like everybody else did, Megan. And that, my friends, is just the way that is. This is your boy, Coach Sheldon Harrison. I'm done. What are you waiting on? Subscribe to this great channel. I'm done.